Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Monday, the 28th of February, and boy, we are ready to turn the page on this month and jump into March.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 44 degrees right now, but it's been kind of squirrely all month long. I was very happy that the sun came out. So was Mark. Mark's actually sunburned on the right side of your left side of your face.
Side. I was joking that it was like watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Richard Dreyfuss puts his face out the window and his sunburn on half of his face. Anyway, look it up. Let's go outside with live cam. Saturday was frigid and damp. The sun came out yesterday, really cooled down overnight, and here's where we are.
Justin, you're also a little sunburned too. What were you doing?
I was at the carnival at the rodeo. You forget this time of year that you do need sunscreen because the sun was in full force yesterday. Warmed us up some. We're going to see it again today. It's really nice though to see the sun, and temperatures next couple days will reflect that sun being out. We'll see some warmer readings. 47 degrees right now, 34 in Kerrville, 46 in Rock Springs, 44 in Uvalde, but everybody is warming up. And we'll see those numbers jump into the 70s by tomorrow, 68 the high this afternoon. And then we may start to see some more moisture return by midweek, and that could lead to some fog maybe Wednesday, but more so Thursday into Friday. Pollen count is in. It's just molds today. We're in the low category at 70. Of course, some folks are asking me, well, what about oak season? Well, it is on our doorstep. Well, we'll see if it starts to come into the pollen count. But right now, we're going to enjoy these low counts. Mountain cedar's gone, by the way. It's been gone for several days now. 68 degrees, your high temperature, mostly sunny. Light and variable winds today. As we showed you, some warmer temperatures on the way. And we get into more of an active pattern, perhaps, by the weekend and into next week. I know we got spring break coming up. We're going to look at all that for you coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Taking a look outside with TransSky. Looks like we have a little stall there. Vehicle pulled over at 10 in Proban, 281. And Coma, looks like we also have an accident with first responders on scene there.
I'll do my best to get some more information on that for all of us right now. Let's take a look at today's 9 at 9. A Ukrainian delegation is scheduled to meet with Russian officials near the border with Belarus this morning. The meeting comes as Russia's central bank raises its borrowing rate from 9.5% to 20% in an attempt to shore up the effects of sanctions. President Biden is expected to meet with other U.S. allies today following Russian President Vladimir Putin's order to have Russian nuclear forces placed on higher alert. Ukrainian officials confirmed the death toll has now reached over 350 civilians, and over 500,000 Ukrainians have fled the country.
The Russian invasion is adding to the surging energy prices already plaguing Europe and the U.S. Experts say if oil prices rise to $120 per barrel and gas prices remain high, inflation would rise even more and stunt economic growth for this year. Some analysts believe regular gas could climb to $4 a gallon on average in the U.S. in the coming months, a scenario our government has not come up with a solution for.
In response to the Russian invasion, Europe and Canada have now closed their airspace to any Russian aircraft. That includes commercial airliners as well as private planes. UPS and FedEx say they're stopping shipments into or out of both Ukraine and Russia. German shipper DHL is stopping service to Ukraine.
A Texas militia member will become the first of the more than 700 defendants charged in the January 6th Capitol riot to go to trial today. Prosecutors accuse Guy Wesley Reffitt of obstructing Congress, interfering with law enforcement, and entering the Capitol complex with a weapon. This trial could offer a possible template for future trials.
Australian news agencies reporting at least 7 people have died after historic flooding ravaged parts of Queensland overnight. More than 1,500 are in evacuation centers, and power is out to thousands more.
Major League Baseball and the Players Union are meeting as we speak to iron out a deal to preserve the start of the regular season. The two sides held a meeting yesterday. The MLB says it was a productive meeting, but the union says the two are still very far apart. A deal must be complete by this evening to preserve the planned start date for the regular season.
The shift towards e-commerce forced by the coronavirus pandemic becoming permanent at Walmart. The Wall Street Journal says the retailer is building out new ways to make deliveries to customers even as the latest surge subsides.
The 2022 Screen Actors Guild Awards show is officially in the books. Dozens of big names were in attendance for the first in-person awards show of the season. Taking home the big award of the night, Coda. which stands for Child of Deaf Adults. Now it's the film to beat on Oscar Sunday. You can watch the Oscars live right here on KSAT 12 on March 27th.
It's the day before Mardi Gras, known as Fat Monday. Prior to the 1980s, the day was meant as a time for rest between the weekend festivities and Fat Tuesday. Since then, the traditions have changed and the parties, festivals, and parades continue into Monday. And that's today's 9 at 9. Top stories we're following today. San Antonio police looking for 3 people wanted connection to a shooting on the city's east side overnight.
The shooting happened around 1 this morning in the 300 block of Bellinger. That's just west of I-10. Police say a man and woman were leaving a bar when 3 people started shooting at them from across the street. Police say the 2 people were able to get away to a nearby hospital. At last check, they were in stable condition. So far, there's no word on a description of the suspects. Police are investigating another shooting overnight, this one in a northeast side neighborhood. Around 3 this morning, police say a young woman got into an altercation with another woman, and that's when someone pulled out a gun and opened fire. This happened on Spring Valley, which is near Judson Road in Nacogdoches. The young woman was shot in the arm. Police are speaking with another woman who was with the victim at the time of the shooting, but so far, no charges have been filed. The 2022 primary election is tomorrow. Voters will either choose the Democratic or Republican primary to decide who will be on the November general election ballot, the midterms. You can scan the QR code on your screen for more voter information. Polling locations will be open from 7 to 7 tomorrow. And we'll have live team coverage all day and bring you results after the polls close, of course, on the Night Beat, on air and online. And of course, a recap of all those results on GMSA Wednesday morning. In your other morning headlines, the latest from Ukraine at another Capitol riot trial. The K-9 unit not deterred by onions, and some folks' mail may be a little wet when it's delivered. David Sears is here to explain. I mean, waterlogged.
Yeah, I hope they weren't expecting a check or something in the mail. That may not cash, too. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, let's start with this. The battles continue across the Ukraine. There are delegates from Russia and Ukraine holding peace talks in Belarus today. But an interesting twist, a U.S. official says that Belarus could be sending troops to fight alongside the Russians. In the meantime, there are reports that satellite images showing a Russian military convoy 3 miles long and is headed towards the capital of Kyiv. There are some 100 vehicles that include Russian troops and tanks. Over the weekend, Australia stepped up and committed what they are calling lethal aid to Ukraine. They are increasing their financial aid to the NATO to help supply Ukraine with weapons. Meta, Facebook's parent company, has found a bunch of fake accounts. They are from groups and pages spreading pro-Russian sentiments. Meta has also come across hackers trying to hack into the accounts of Ukrainian government officials, military leaders, and journalists. Meta says that false campaign was smelled out pretty easy and had relatively small impact, and they are going to get before there is any significant damage. A Texas man charged with storming the U.S. Capitol with a holstered gun on his waist is the first January 6th defendant to go on trial. Jury selection is scheduled for starting today for the case against Guy Wesley Reffitt. He also charged with interfering with police officers at the Capitol and with threatening his teenage children if they reported him to authorities after the riot. This trial could be an indicator for many other Capitol riot cases. A convention would give prosecutors more leverage in plea talks, and acquittal may lead others to wait for their own day in court. Authorities seized nearly $3 million worth of methamphetamine hidden within a shipment of onions. It was discovered last week during an inspection of a truck at a federal facility in San Diego. K-9 units with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection sniffed out the stash. Authorities found nearly 2,000 packages of meth worth an estimated street value of $2.9 million. Officers arrested the driver, an unidentified Mexican citizen. And finally, an 18-wheeler crashing on a bridge, causing it to fall into a river in Weston, Massachusetts. On security video, you can see the moment the 18-wheeler falls into that water. According to state police, the driver was carrying USPS mail at the time of the crash. Here it comes, and there it goes. Oh, man. How about the driver? What condition is he in? Well, we know he can't swim because he ended up getting on top of the truck looking for first responders to come to his aid, so he apparently is okay. Hours later, state police sent in a dive team to help remove the tractor trailer from the river. The mail and packages were recovered from the truck, but probably a little soggy. Hopefully it wasn't like cookies or something. Like
Oh
food,
boy,
like shit.
I've got anxiety just thinking about it because you know there was something in there that was super important.
Yeah, IRS checks.
That too, refund checks, very possible.
Ooh.
Direct deposit from
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta. That's the way to go.
See?
I have learned that is the way to go, David.
You guys are making it worse. Thank you very much for feeding my anxiety. Right now, 9:08, about 47 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Just ahead, how so many people are trying to help on the ground in Ukraine. Well, as the world watches this urgent situation in Ukraine unfold, we're taking a closer look at the women of the war who have dropped everything to defend their country.
ABC's Ariel Reshef has details.
They are Ukraine's mothers, daughters, teachers, politicians, beauty queens, now on the front lines defending their country under siege.
When Russia declared war on us, on Ukraine, and this is when I decided to arm myself, and this is when I got my Kalashnikov, and for the last 5 days, I spent trying to learn to use it.
Ukrainian parliament member Kira Rudik going viral for her post bearing arms, preparing for the raids in Kyiv.
We given away like 20,000 Kalashnikovs, and mine is one of them.
Men are required by martial law to stay back and fight the Russian invasion, but many women are foregoing the chance to leave.
I was helping my husband to pack for a war, like t-shirts, underwear, weapons. And then I thought, okay, he's going to war. I'm going too. So we are here together.
And there is Anastasia Lena, a former Miss Grand Ukraine. Photos of her on Instagram in fatigues, rifle in hand. Underneath, patriotic hashtags. One video in her story with the caption, "Training, the invaders will die on our land. All world, see this." Alina Miskar remaining in the outskirts of the capital Kyiv, needing provisions for citizens and soldiers alike. Talking with us from her darkened home, lights off for safety.
We decided to bake bread for our soldiers, so we bake it for free. In case we are needed, we shall help.
Women of Ukraine hoping that, like them, the world will take notice and take action.
We will now have a generation of children who know what war is, who will know to go down to the bomb shelter after when the siren is alarmed. This is what makes me very angry, and this is what empowers me.
And that lawmaker telling us, despite years of tensions with Russia, she never imagined that war would literally land at her doorstep. But she says that once it did, there was no question that she would serve. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
I tell you, we've met a new generation of heroes over this last week, and those stories are just now beginning to be told.
Those women are so incredible.
All right, back here at home, a slow cool down, slow warm up this morning is what I meant to say. Justin, good morning again.
Hey, good morning. And I believe Sarah used the term squirrely to describe the month of February.
I kind of was leaning back on my old term that I called February, what was it, whack?
That works too.
Yeah.
Whack.
I think that works too.
Messed up.
All good
No
adjectives.
chill. You can go on.
I would agree with all that, okay? And as we look at the month, you can see kind of the days outlined in blue represent the days below average. The days in red there represent above average. And we had a handful of days above average. We went as high as 85 on February 21st and 22nd, but we were as cold as 21 on February 4th. We ended the month on a cold note. It's going to rank somewhere around 16th coldest February we've ever seen. So it's 6.2 degrees below average. That's pretty significant. It was a cold month, especially when you consider that December was one of the warmest Decembers we had on record. So the winter itself has been kind of tumultuous, but we're heading into, looks like some warmer weather here as we get into March, and we look ahead to March 5th through March 9th. This is a very generalized outlook, but it does show perhaps some warmer numbers. And I think by the end of the week, it's going to feel a lot more like spring versus winter. It was a chilly weekend for sure. Here's the temperatures over the next 7 days. You can see we climb above average starting tomorrow and really all the way through the weekend. We'll add some moisture in there too and more cloud cover. But in the meantime, clear skies last night allowed temperatures to really fall off. We did get below freezing here in San Antonio, 31 degrees at the airport, 30 Randolph, 29 New Braunfels, 25 Boerne Stage, 22 in Kerrville. Basically, we had freezing numbers across much of the area. And so a very cold start, but we're seeing those temperatures warm up nicely now. 47 at the airport, 51 Stinson, 46 Kelly, 45 at Randolph. And not much wind out there today. The winds should be light and variable, I think, throughout the afternoon. 34 right now in Comfort. You're at 45 in Hondo, 45 Gonzales, 51 Beeville, 43 in Del Rio. And there is still a bit of a wind chill. Feels like 47 outside. What light wind we do have, there is a little bit of a wind chill. We don't expect that will be much of an issue today. And you look at the forecast, temperatures get up into the upper 60s today. Really pretty pleasant. Sunny skies most of the day, some 70s out west. And then tonight we fall back down into the 30s, 38 degrees tomorrow morning, and then right back near 70 tomorrow afternoon. So there's that gradual warming. Dew points will also gradually increase as we get into the weekend. And by Thursday, I think there's probably enough moisture there to get some fog going, and then clouds and drizzle in the morning time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Big picture here. Most of the weather is way to the north. Some snow up there in International Falls, some good rain around Seattle. But the weather pattern is a quiet one to start the week. Now, as we get later into the week and into the weekend, we start to see a trough developing out west. And that's going to create some unsettled weather. Maybe not so much for us, but folks downstream to our north and east, there could be some thunderstorms by the weekend, something we'll be watching in the 7-day forecast. We do have a 20% chance in there by Sunday. And as we said, the temperatures gradually warm up here. We're talking temperatures near 80 by the weekend with more humidity. So a lot more March-like as we head into March officially with those temperatures and that humidity, guys.
Yes, I'll take it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take humidity versus what we had on Saturday. That was miserable.
That was quite the deep freeze, wasn't it?
It was.
All we were missing was snow or sleet. No thanks.
No, thank you.
9:17, about 48 degrees.
RJ Marquez is going to join us with a look at some trending stories. That's next on KSAT.com.
Welcome back, 921. This morning on KSAT.com, San Antonio is stepping up to help in a big way to help a Ukrainian-owned bakery here and save the date for one of the most anticipated events of the year for the San Antonio Zoo.
Plus armadillos, start your engines. There's a fun, I cannot wait to see this video. There's a fun event coming to our area featuring the official small mammal of Texas. RJ Marquez is live with us. Armadillos.
Yes,
now.
armadillos. We got some fun armadillo action taking place this upcoming weekend. We'll get to that one here in just a little bit, guys. Pretty cool story a little bit north of us. But first of all, guys, San Antonians showing up in a big way this weekend to support a local bakery that says it's donating all of its sales from the weekend to the Ukrainian army as they contend with the invasion of Russian forces. Like a Cheesecake and Espresso is a Ukrainian-owned bakery located off there on Broadway. The line was out the door. You can see this video on our article on KSAT.com, and around the corner at the bakery Saturday as dozens of people showed their support for the shop and for the people in Ukraine. So the owner's name is Anna. She opened the bakery in late 2020, and they posted on social media on Thursday that all their profits this weekend were going to help their people back home. Leica serves cheesecakes with a variety of toppings and other desserts. So
have you ever had Leica?
I have not.
It's
no.
phenomenal.
It's a totally different kind of cheesecake,
They
right?
basically do like anything creative and make it into a cheesecake, and they come in like little cups or a whole cake. I'm not even a cheesecake person.
I am. I'm a big cheesecake person. Oh, so gotta check that out.
Somebody told me, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that their kind of cheesecake tastes totally different than anything we're used to eating over here, like New York style.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do. It's like Ukrainian sort of bakery type of those sort of methods. I think that the old like Russian way and Ukrainian way of like baking.
I don't
think that's
care
sort of the
what it
style
is,
that they
it's
do.
good. It's so good.
I've heard it's not quite as sweet, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Ooh, that is good. Yeah, I like that.
It's excellent.
Got to check that out. All right, guys, so mark your calendars for a big fundraiser and a great event for the San Antonio Zoo. The zoo is hosting its 26th annual Zoo La La fundraiser on May 12th. So Zoo La La Taste of San Antonio gives people the chance to have the zoo all to themselves. So you can sample food from all over our city, and there is also live music and concerts taking place that evening. The official list of vendors has not yet been released, but organizers said that more than 50 beer, wine, and food vendors from some of San Antonio's most popular restaurants, maybe Leica, will be in attendance. Zoo La La is the zoo's second largest fundraising event of this year. And get this is the big selling point here. It's all adults, guys, no kids. Yes, yeah, it's all adults. And I've been to this event a few times, did not even realize that. that there's no kids.
You're not
da-da-da.
a parent.
That's true. Yeah.
So you're like, this is normal. Where parents are like, this is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Babysitters set up ahead of time. And of course, guys, you can find all this information right there on our website.
That's why it's called Zulala.
Ah, Zulala.
La.
Like it. All right, guys, speaking of animals, all right, how about this fun event taking place on Sunday? Popular restaurant in New Braunfels will be hosting, look at these little guys, armadillo races. Krause's Cafe and Beer Garden is hosting the races starting this weekend, but there will be races in April and May as well if you can't make it up to New Braunfels. The restaurant says the March 6th races will be a celebration of Texas independence. It's actually this week. The armadillo races will take place from 2 to 5 in the afternoon with 2 sets of races every 30 minutes. You can also learn more about what we mentioned earlier, the official small mammal of Texas, with armadillo handlers that will be on site. So in between races, these handlers will speak about armadillo education and answer any of those armadillo related questions that you may have. And we have more information on KSAT.com. So many questions.
I'm sure there are dozens and dozens of people watching right now going, gosh, I did have armadillo related questions.
I'm sure, yeah, well, if they want to find out.
I mean, like, there's no, I don't know. They're little, have you ever seen armadillos scratch at things?
Yes.
I had one in my backyard one time, holes everywhere.
Oh, in your backyard?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Here,
okay.
heart of San Antonio.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Yeah. One big fun fact there, because Mary Claire Patton, our digital journalist, puts this article together. She always adds these little factoids about stuff. She said a lot of people think that they're reptiles. They're not. They're mammals. So because of the scaly kind of armor and things like that. But and officially, 1995 was when they became the small mammal of Texas.
They're kind of cute.
They are pretty cute.
In their own way.
Weird faces, yeah.
Armadillo races.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
9:25, about 48 degrees. More ahead on GMSA at 9.
Coming up after the break, a look at how things are on the ground in one part of Ukraine after heavy blitz hit the area.
And checking the roads with TransGuide right now, we've got a couple of lanes closed right there at the access ramp. This is at 281 northbound at Nakoma. Not quite sure what's going on out there. Almost looks like there's something across the roadway itself. And then we have another accident working in another part of town. We'll try to get that camera up for you coming up here before the end of the newscast. Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a live look at Kyiv right now, where it is now just shy of 5:30 in the evening. It is a beautiful evening. You would never know that country is at war based on what you're seeing in this shot right now, but it is otherwise a ghost town. Curfews continue. Heavy attacks following an ugly day in the port town of Mykolaiv, where troops fired in the air, roughed up suspected Russian attackers, and raised the city's bridge for the first time in over a decade.
By nightfall, heavy blitz hit the outskirts. By morning, it was clear the devastation those blasts had taken a toll, not only on Ukrainian armor, but also the city center's residential area.
CNN's Nick Patton-Walsh is in Ukraine with the latest on the ground there.
The bridge here hasn't been raised for as long as they can remember, but neither has the sleepy port town of Mykolaiv been invaded. The clack-clack is likely exchanges with Russian paratroopers who we're told landed nearby. Locals struggling to keep up with their world here collapsing and soldiers edgy. The fear here, Russian saboteurs, like these two suspects, thrown to the ground by soldiers. Then the sirens go off. And it is back in the basement for mothers and cats. Here, the noise of what Russia would do to these towns in the name of subjugation and geopolitical gain. Police trying to turn lights off, it seems, in businesses that closed in a hurry. Life persisting, caught between hoping this is short-lived and wondering if it may go on forever. Behind it all, in empty streets, the fear they may be overrun. And whether each huge blast will be the decisive strike that lets Putin's troops enter. The shelling just went on and on. The next morning, we saw where it hit. It's likely a missile tore up these Ukrainian tanks, but nobody left feels broken. How you feel?
Хорошо, good. Very good.
Yeah?
Yes.
They tried to come into the town. России попытались попасть здесь или как?
Попытались попасть, но мы отбили. Nikolaev.
Понятно. He's saying the Russians tried to come in last night, but the town of Mykolaiv beat them. And you can see what that looks like here. Машины, дырно.
Смотрите.
He's saying, look around here. I'm asking him, how do you feel living here, looking at all this? This is where you live, right? He's like, look at this. Look at these windows that are blown out.
Те, что говорили гражданские, инфраструктуру не будут они портить и использовать. Сколько гражданских пострадало? Это уму непостижимо.
Yeah, so the words of Russian ministers who've been saying that they're not going to hit civilian infrastructure here, he's repeating them back to me, saying, look at this. They say they're not hitting civilian infrastructure. Look at this damage around here. Putin's rockets may have shattered glass, but not dented the anger here. As they take stock, you have to ask yourself why Moscow ever thought these towns would gladly be occupied and what Russia's end goal is. Tempers fray here. Blood has been spilled, but despite Russia's overwhelming firepower, they did not pass. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, Mykolaiv, Ukraine.
As we go outside with live cam, obviously armaments are part of the assistance for the Ukrainians right now, but also the sanctions and trying to control or freeze the assets of some of Russia's top leaders. And we have some breaking news that Sarah wants to tell you about.
Right out of the New York Times, Switzerland will freeze Russian assets, including those of President Vladimir Putin, setting aside its long tradition of neutrality. The country is a favorite destination for Russian money, and we will keep you guys updated.
There are estimates that Vladimir Putin's assets total upwards of $200 billion around the world. Okay, wow. Back here at home, back to a warm-up in progress, and forecast is looking really good for the next week or so.
It does look really nice as we wrap up February, head into March. Some really good weather. I think we deserve it after a stretch of sort of cloudy, gray, a little bit rainy weather. Let's look at the situation right now. There is some cloud cover trying to work into Texas, but this does not have any rain with it, so just a few thin high clouds working into the Lone Star State. And I don't know that we'll even see any of those today. Likely sunny skies much of the day here. 47 degrees right now after starting out below freezing this morning. So already making some big gains when it comes to that temperature. 38 Waco, 42 Dallas, 36 in Lubbock. It'll be a nice day no matter where you go. Here's what to expect. Warming up, lots of sun, not only today, next couple of days. It's not until Thursday and Friday that more humidity, maybe some fog, some morning fog, and morning drizzle start to kick in. And this weekend, it'll be warm, humid, and we could see a shower or two, but it'll feel a lot more like spring. Our forecast today, 60 by noontime. We're up around 68, light and variable winds. Great looking forecast. Now, the one thing that has been an issue for us is that lack of rainfall. We're going to look at the numbers once again and let you know what's ahead as far as any significant rainfall in our future. That's coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. We're going to take a look at 10 in Pearl Brent. You see that vehicle still stalled out there. If you're in that area, make sure you are safe and taking that precaution. Traffic looks like it's pretty heavy there at 35 and FM 1103.
And 281 in Tacoma cleared.
Yes, and that one that we showed you earlier just cleared about 5 minutes ago.
Now, the latest in a string of vehicle burglaries throughout the San Antonio area has owners extra emotional.
That family telling Lee Waldman it's what was inside their vehicle that has them desperate for its return.
BB passed away on January the 31st. My birthday was on February the 2nd. On February the 4th, I lost Pearl.
It's been a hard month for Patricia Arredondo and her family. They lost two of their beloved pets, BB the toy poodle and Pearl the umbrella cockatoo.
The house is very quiet now.
As she's done with others, Arredondo had her pets cremated at Becker's Animal Hospital, and her husband offered to pick up their urns on his way to his cousin's funeral.
He picked them up for me, and he came to the rosary.
While Arredondo's husband was inside for his cousin's service, thieves were out here working on taking off with his truck with the urns still inside.
Losing him the first time was really, really hard. And to lose him a second time, it's like unbelievable.
The red 2001 Ford F-250 gone without a trace. In 2021, an SAPD report showed that was the second most stolen vehicle in our city. Arredondo's husband's truck isn't the only one stolen recently. On February 19th, a vehicle left running at a convenience store was stolen with a 7-month-old baby girl in the back seat. Vehicle burglaries are on the rise across the city. An undercover officer with SAPD says they're crimes of opportunity, an opportunity that took away something irreplaceable to the Arredondo family.
Just have a heart. Have a heart and just let me get them back home.
That was Lee Waldman reporting. San Antonio police are trying to find Arredondo's truck. As for that 7-month-old, was returned uninjured and safe.
That's right. Now, Patricia is begging whoever took it to at least return the urns. She says they can be dropped off at Becker's Animal Hospital with no questions asked.
Okay, it's 9:37 and 51 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Still ahead on the show, David Sears and RJ Marquez will be joining us again to talk about the Spurs as they get ready for their final game of this year's rodeo road trip tonight. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Justin, you
Hi.
and Mark are both sunburned.
Yeah, we are.
From yesterday, not from Saturday. Saturday was the worst.
There was no way to get a sunburn on Saturday.
True.
Justin, I don't know what happened. I guess I was just enjoying the fact that it was a little warmer and that the sun was out. I was not even thinking for a second about sunscreen.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And it's February, you know. You do, at least this time of year, you don't usually need the sunscreen, but here we are, sunburned.
At least I wore a hat this time. Otherwise, this would have been
real cute.
Yeah.
It's all right. Listen, I'm just glad the sun's out. I'll take it.
Me
It's
too.
all right. It's kind of collateral damage, if you will. Let's look at what we got going on rainfall-wise. And you'll see that the last couple of months have been really dry. November, December, January was not good. February, 1.74 inches. We are going to finish the month average. So you put that all together, it's been a stretch here where we just have not gotten a lot of rain. 4.23 since October 27th. October was a good month for us, so that built us up a surplus, but we've pretty much wiped it away now. And we do need some good rain. In the forecast, it's just not there. You look, some small chances Friday night, Saturday. Maybe some drizzle there. That's not going to add up to much. By Sunday, there's an outside chance for shower or storm, but I'm still not convinced that it's going to be a great rain event for us. It's just we just haven't got those systems coming right through here and giving us those good rain amounts. We'll see what happens in the spring. Time lapse shows that we have a few thin high clouds moving through this morning, and 47 degrees. Dew point is at 26. That's still dry. Dew points will start to climb as we get throughout the rest of the week. 39 right now, Comfort, 50 Bernie Stage, 40 Canyon Lake, 47 in New Braunfels, 51 in Pleasanton. So we've made some big gains since those cold morning lows, down to 31 here in San Antonio a little bit earlier. 53 right now, Uvalde, it is 43 out in Del Rio. And the forecast calls for high temperatures today to be up around 68 or so here in town. Cuero, 65, 66 Lakey. Pretty uniform numbers here, 70 out in Del Rio. Tonight, we fall back down into the 30s. Not as cold, though. We're not expecting freezing numbers. Maybe a few spots in the hill country, but not here in town. And then up to 71 tomorrow. You'll just see temperatures climb as we finish out the week and get towards the weekend. So, too, will the dew point. So humidity comes back into play, and you'll start to feel it a little bit more probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But there's enough there Thursday probably to develop some fog. And then by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe some morning drizzle, morning cloud cover. We'll get into that sort of pattern. As you look across the country, some good rain up there around Portland and Seattle, some snow in the higher elevations, a little bit of rain around Florida, but otherwise a really quiet weather pattern. And we'll see that continue as we go through about midweek. Then we start to see a shift in the pattern, and we get a trough developing. And usually this means sort of unsettled weather. And the way it's shaping up, a lot of that unsettled weather will probably miss us to the north and east. This is, again, late in the weekend. Something to watch. This is one of those type patterns where we could see some stronger storms, a little more spring-like. We do have a small chance here, but again, I think the better chances will probably be to our north. We'll keep you posted. 71 Tuesday, 73 Wednesday, 74 Thursday. We're close to 80 by the time we get into the weekend, and we have put in a small rain chance there on Sunday, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, the San Antonio Spurs, they wrap up the rodeo road trip tonight after a busy weekend.
Very busy weekend. David and RJ are here to break down the last couple of games and what's coming up next for the Silver and Black.
Oh, yeah. Good just to see basketball again after like a week and a half break.
Yeah, it's like
the All-Star break feels longer now.
Spending a lot of time on the beach. You hope they're in shape. They looked in shape Friday night when they took on
Washington. Yeah, they're up there in D.C.
Washington and D.C. So I have a new rule.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Anytime that one team has 130 points and you're going into overtime, you have to use the red, white, and blue ball.
Oh,
like the
old ABA ball. Yeah, that would have been great.
I mean, look, 130 points, you have to use it. Because look at the final score. It was They scored 157 to 153. I mean, next thing you know, Iceman's going to be out there finger rolling.
Iceman, Dr. J. There's a little,
So, that's my new rule.
With the colors there, with the Wizards, as the Spurs get this win on Friday night, and then played Saturday, David, on the road against Miami here. Nice, look at that, Devin Vassell getting up there.
And here's the thing about this game: Miami's the best in the East, and the Spurs took them all the way down to the end without DeJounte, Keldon, or Jakob Poeltl. So that says something about the guys that are on the bench and the other couple starters. So, I give them credit, man. They've come out of the All-Star break pretty much on fire, ready to go. Pop still looking for 2 more wins to get the all-time leader in wins in the NBA.
That's right. He would pass his former boss there, Don Nelson, for all-time wins for head coach. But as you mentioned, David, I think the depth of this team, and now it seems like they're just letting the young guys go. I mean, Primo is pretty much going to be with them for the rest of the year. I don't think he's going to go back to Austin the rest of this season. We're going to see some younger guys like Devin Vassell, and really DeJounte is kind of the guy that makes everything go. But again, DeJounte out from that back-to-back. So we'll see what happens here as we get Memphis tonight.
Lonnie Walker's had a couple of great games coming out of the All-Star break. He's 20 plus, I think 23 and 1 and 22 in the other game. So he's coming on strong. They are, man, they're battling Portland and they're battling New Orleans for that 10th spot. I think it's the Lakers that is in the Lakers. Think about that. Lakers in the 9th spot.
Yeah, the Lakers are a mess right now. They're a mess right now.
I feel terrible about that.
I know,
we all do. I know.
Weren't their own
Everyone's very
fans booing
sad.
them?
They were.
Yeah.
They could have helped us out, though. They could have been New Orleans, but they're not. Yeah, the Lakers are just a
But
mess.
it's going to be New Orleans. It's going to be Portland. It's going to be San Antonio. Pretty much down the stretch, battling for that 10th spot to get in the play-in tournament.
So, and from over the weekend, we also, David mentioned Lonnie Walker. He's been great since the trade of Derek White. So let's go ahead and hear a little bit from Lonnie and Coach Pop from these past couple of games.
I'm just happy that our team fought back, especially after coming from a back-to-back and a double overtime. We didn't make no excuses, especially playing the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. So we did what we can. Had a lot of turnovers into the second quarter that kind of hurt us a little bit, but we fought.
I could have been more proud of them. They were spectacular. And they took a big hit in the second quarter. We had, I think, 11 turnovers in the second quarter, and they came back. We just kept on playing, and that's the character of these guys. Is probably the most special thing about them.
Fourth quarter with Bama.
Yeah, they ended up with 22 turnovers. So
that was rough.
That's never a good thing.
And of course, without DeJounte Murray playing in that game, so that obviously hurt him. You made a great point earlier, David. Lonnie Walker has been great since that trade, and now we're wondering if the Spurs maybe want to keep him this offseason. A lot of big offseason things to look ahead to.
So the rodeo road trip ends tonight in Memphis. You guys said that earlier. And then they come home. But how about this? They come home for one game.
One game.
Thursday against Sacramento. Then they're back on the road against Charlotte on Saturday.
Yep.
And then they come back to take on the Lakers.
Oh,
so, now, if you had your druthers, I mean, you'll take a win anytime you can get it. But wouldn't it be nice to see Pop get the all-time record for wins for a head coach in the NBA against LeBron James?
That would be amazing, yeah. Here at home against the Lakers, against LeBron, that'd be really, really kind of
but
full
the Spurs
circle.
need to win.
Full circle.
So, I mean, that's just kind of one of those
It's going to happen like in Charlotte or something.
Yeah.
No.
I know, hoping that it happens here at home.
Yeah. So that would be nice, but we'll see what happens when they take on Memphis tonight.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be jet lag getting on the plane to Charlotte. They're like, man, we just got off the darn plane.
Yeah. So, but that's not till Thursday, so at least they get a couple of.
That's true.
A couple of days.
All right.
Yeah, but come on, they've been on vacation for like 2 weeks.
That's true.
Right.
Young guys, right? Young guys, fresh legs.
Well, good luck in Memphis tonight.
Yeah, Memphis. Good Grizzlies team.
They're leaving some tickets for Elvis.
I thought Elvis. Never mind.
Okay.
Whole different.
You thought he left the building?
Yeah. 9:49, about 52 degrees.
Coming up after the break, a look at the latest from Hollywood.
With no new major releases, this weekend's box office top 5 is exactly like last weekend's.
There are places out there you can't find on any map.
Uncharted holds first with a further $23.2 million, followed by Dog, Spider-Man No Way Home, Death on the Nile, and Jackass Forever.
Do you guys get this overwhelming sense of death?
Rock band Foo Fighters horror comedy Studio 666 bows in 8th, but everyone's just marking time until Friday.
Justice. The answer's justice.
That's when The Batman debuts nationwide, already tracking to open with well over $100 million. Saturday Night Live tabled its usual cold open this weekend, instead featuring the Ukrainian chorus Dumka of New York, performing Prayer for Ukraine as Russian troops continue their invasion of the Eastern European nation. Jennifer Hudson was named Entertainer of the Year at Saturday night's NAACP Image Awards, broadcast live on BET. And trained singer Pat Monahan is 53 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Let's take a look outside on the roads real quick before we head out. Looks like traffic is building there at 35. 1604, there's still that stalled car out there at Culebra. And we know that the other issue that we had at Tacoma earlier has cleared.
Yeah, roads look great here at the tail end, or now that the morning commute is over. Okay, Justin.
Lots of sun out there, as you can see on Chance Guide. 68 degrees this afternoon. We'll see 70s midweek and then close to 80 this weekend. No real big changes in the forecast as far as rain goes, other than we did add a few rain chances there by late in the weekend.
All right, check this out. Pet owners and their furry companions celebrating Carnival in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on Sunday.
Yeah, they participate in events like a costume contest, which brought on smiles and loud barks. Super cute stuff going on over there.
Yeah, the event was originally planned for January, but was canceled due to the spike in Omicron cases.
But just like in the U.S., they're also seeing a dip. They're able to get out and celebrate. I love the matching costumes. There's nothing, I don't know, I'm a dog owner. I like to do the matching costume thing.
A Truman would not allow me to do that.
Does he not even let you put like a sweater on him when it's cold?
He does. He doesn't mind that, but he also, it doesn't last long. And the signal I get when I know that he's done is.
Or like if I put a shirt on Scooby he doesn't like, he won't move.
Freezes.
Oh. He freezes. He's like, nope, not doing it. Not giving in. If I start prancing around, you'll think I like it.
Yeah. Did you see how beautiful the weather looked down at Rio for that event?
Looked awesome, and I know they haven't had Carnival in a couple of years now, or at least the big festivities, so they're getting to have it this year.
Justin, we start a new month tomorrow, and since we've got here in about 30 seconds to kill, can you give us kind of the outlook for the month of March, roughly?
Are we done with the freezes?
Well, we can't say that unequivocally. We've seen freezes as late as early April, but it does look like it's going to be warmer to start the month, and we move into more like a spring-like pattern. We're going to be watching for some thunderstorms as we get into next week. And I know spring break's coming up, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, everybody.